Welcome to Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. Hey, what a dud of a game. And by popular request, we have brought back one Mr. Coach Barikoff. I know Coach Barikoff has been smoozing some donors tonight, so it's been a fun night for you as far as your real job goes. Not a fun night watching the Dodgers, Coach. I just got to say straight up, what a complete dud for the Dodgers tonight. I mean, just a complete – can you imagine if you paid like $10,000 a ticket to watch that crap tonight?
Well, listen, I was watching, we were at a donors event and I was watching this game and I just kept saying it. It's funny, Case. Everybody knows me now as this diehard Dodger fan. Everybody knows I'm on Dodgers Daily. And everybody just kept saying to me, like, what is going on? And I said, I'm going to take the blame for this, Casey. I didn't do my routine. Listen. Normally, here's the routine. I take 2 shots of tequila.
Yes.
I put on this candle.
Yes.
I have my Dodgers hat out. I have it's October, my October shirt. I don't know if you can see it. My October shirt.
Nice.
I get my pajamas on and I watch the game and I pace around. I wasn't able to do that tonight. So Dodger fans, Dodger Daily Dogs.
Damn you, Coach.
This one's on me. It's on me. So... And you know what's crazy? Before I left for this donors event, the greatest player in baseball, Kike Hernandez, sacrificed fly and the Dodgers were winning. So, and then when I left, it all went haywire. So, Casey, I put this one on me. I can handle it.
In all seriousness, about 2 weeks ago or about a week ago, whenever we were all, in our group chat, the one thing that I have said about this team, the one statement I have made is, hey, everything's fine. I don't trust this offense. I don't know how many times I've texted that in the group chat. I don't trust this offense, Coach. They just, for some reason, they just don't show up. I mean, hey, Shane Bieber's great. He did a good job tonight. Nothing that the Dodgers should not have attacked. There's nothing that Shane Bieber threw to home plate tonight the Dodgers shouldn't have scored 8 or 9 runs on. Nothing.
No, and to be the guy, I will vouch for that. We have a great Dodgers Daily chat. We talk about the game. We get ready for the shows. And Casey, you're right. You talked about this. And I was just looking when you said that. Ohtani, 268. Betts, 250. Freeman, 250. Smith, 267. Tio, 271. I mean, the list goes on. And my favorite player, other than Kike Hernandez, has 0.80.
He's got to go, Coach. I love Andy. He's got to go.
Well, we're going to get to that. I know you're ready to ask me those questions, but I have one big Dodgers chat that I talk with my brother and one of my best friends, Izzy Metz. And I say it all the time in this group chat. The Dodgers just don't hit. They haven't hit all year. And it's frustrating. It really is. But it is what it is. And let's not, we could say all we want. Toronto is a really good baseball team.
They are. But the Dodgers should have won tonight, Coach. The Dodgers should have they were there for the taking. They weren't going to score a whole lot of runs. They should have scored about 8 or 9 runs on Shane Bieber. And this should have been about an 8 to 9 to 3 or 4 game tonight. That's what should have happened tonight. That's why I am so disappointed and dejected. This is why also kind of to the point where I don't trust this team to win this World Series. Not that it hasn't been a great year. You make it this far, it's awesome. I don't mean to be negative. I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody in the organization or anything they've done. But tonight is a really concerning night for me because if you can't win tonight with everything that happened last night, with what you had in front of you, the way you could have taken a stranglehold, if you can't win tonight, that just tells me this is who this team is going to be, or at least it looks like this is what this team may be for the last 2 to 3 games of this year. And this is the most dejected I've been in the postseason yet.
I'm disappointed too, but I won't change that as being, I'm like the Mr. Dodgers Daily positivity guy. So it's a 3-game series, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers win tomorrow. So
3-game series, 2 of them in Toronto, last 2 in Toronto. Yep. Yeah.
So tomorrow night is going to be the most important series or the most important game in forever, right?
Yes. Well, since the Padres game last year, the bullpen game, yeah.
So Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow. I like our chances. I'm going to stay positive. Maybe this is just what this Dodgers team is. They're just going to be this team that's just going to have to grind out and make a series go deep. I said Dodgers in 6. It could be Dodgers in 7. I know you're bummed out about this. I am too, especially.
I'm worried. I think I'm more worried than anything.
I'm worried too. I'm worried. But there's just something about I just have a feeling the Dodgers are going to take care of business tomorrow, Casey. And I understand where you're coming from. I really, truly do. Especially after last night, and it's called the most, the most big-time World Series game in World Series history. And as excited as we were as Dodger fans, you thought the Dodgers were going to come through tonight and get it done and just say, you know what, we can actually win this thing in LA. And my thought was, baseball gods were not going to let Kershaw not win this thing in LA and win a world championship in his home stadium, right? And it just doesn't look like that's going to happen now. It's not going to happen now. But the positive thing is, I think Blake Snell's going to throw way better. You have been on record in our group chat saying Snell wasn't that bad in the first game. So
he needs to make adjustments,
the positivity of Coach Barrakoff for the Dodger Daily and the Dawgs out there is we're going to figure out a way and we're going to win tomorrow night. There's my take on the whole thing.
Well, Blake Snell needs to figure out how to go 9 innings and go scoreless. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. And here is my optimism about tomorrow. Blake Snell had a bad game plan again in the first time around against Toronto. He tried to do his typical, hey, let's throw the ball to strike concepts. I went over all the numbers. I don't want to go over it again. And Toronto just doesn't chase, and so then they force you to get behind the count, come in with a hittable pitch in the zone, and they nail you, like we've seen. So that wasn't a good. I think Blake Snell tried to do what he does. Toronto did what they did better against him. I think he is going to have to make some philosophical changes, some approach changes, do a little bit more ball to strike stuff. We saw a lot of that from Ohtani tonight. So the positive thing about that is it's kind of like whenever you go into halftime and one team's winning and the other team's losing. The other team, the team that's losing, coach, the team that's winning goes in and goes, they always say, hey, let's just do what we can, just continue to do what we've been doing, right? No adjustments. Let's just stay with the game plan, keep doing what we're doing. Whereas the team that's losing, when they're in the halftime locker room, they're drawing up a million different adjustments that the other team's not ready for. So my positivity here is Toronto's going to go in tomorrow and they're going to go, boys, let's just do what we do because we saw that we can beat Blake Snell if we do that. Whereas I think Blake Snell is going to be the team in the halftime locker room making all the adjustments that Toronto will not be prepared for. Now, it's one thing to make adjustments on paper. It's another to go out on the field and execute them. That's going to be the key.
You're right. And let me backtrack a little bit. I got a lot of pressure on me. I coach at the University of Portland. Portland baseball is very, very good. And I ran my mouth to these guys on on an early morning weightlifting session because they lift at the same time of us, Case. Yeah. And all these guys walked by me, all the baseball dudes, and I said, Dodgers or Blue Jays? And like 2 dudes said Dodgers. And I was like, you guys are crazy. And like, this is good baseball. Portland baseball is really, really good. So I respect these dudes. They all said that Toronto is a better team. They're going to hit better. They're going to figure the Dodgers out. So back to what you were saying. Is it me? Tell me if I'm wrong on this. Watching Toronto's at-bats reminds me of what the Dodgers used to be in some sense of the way.
Relentless.
They grind out at-bats. They don't swing at bad pitches. They hit the ball into play. Toronto just reminds me of what the Dodgers' philosophy used to be. And listening to like 18 innings, I turned off Joe Davis, which is crazy to me. But if you use the MLB app, the MLB app was like 2 to 3 pitches ahead of actually the live broadcast.
Yes.
So I decided I was so nervous that I was going to listen to the radio broadcast. Listen to Steven Nelson and Rick Monday. And all Rick Monday just kept saying all night long was, Dodgers, we don't need home runs. Just get singles, and we win this game. That's what Toronto's doing to us.
Yeah. The Jimenez at bat tonight was the difference. Whenever he went 2 strikes into left field and opened the thing up, it looked like the Dodgers might have a chance to get out of that and salvage something and keep it close.
Yeah.
Then whenever he just slaps it into left field, you're like, okay, this game's over. The Dodgers aren't scoring.
So exactly, and that's what's been frustrating. It's like For some reason, the Dodgers are swinging from their heels every time. And it's like, I get it. It's exciting brand of baseball, but Toronto is playing what I thought the Dodgers would do. They take a lot of pitches. They hit the balls in play. They make things happen on the base. And it's been frustrating. But again, it's a 3-game series. Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow. Mm-hmm. You got to think on paper we have the big advantage.
Yeah, other than the fact we don't have a bullpen. I mean, Anthony Bonda gives up 2 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Blake Trinan is an unmitigated disaster in this series. The only guys you can rely on are guys that you're like, okay, well, it's Robo and Dreyer and guys like that you've never seen it do before. So, I mean, yeah, you have the advantage with those guys, but I don't know who the hell you turn to in the bullpen right now. Roki Sasaki, I guess. But can he pitch in all 3 games?
Man, Case, it breaks
Will
my
Klein
heart to
again?
see.
But I mean, are you gonna go to the Will Klein card again? I know you will, but I mean that's kind of going to that card again is asking for more than you could have ever hoped for from that guy, right?
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, it's like one of those things. Like that was the unicorn of all unicorn performances from that guy, right? You're not. Will you get that again? And it breaks my heart to say because I know you are, Casey, too. Blake Trinan is. I love Blake Trinan.
Stud.
Why do we keep going back to him? And he just keeps breaking our heart.
I thought he'd be a decent matchup the way he could ball to strike it. It wasn't. So at the point that at the second, the best coaches are the ones that go, hey, I laid a plan out. Obviously, I was wrong in my game planning. I have to pivot right now. You can't wait. You don't have time.
Yeah. I have no words to say what's happening to Blake Trinan. I just don't have. I don't know what to say.
It's sad. But it is what it is. We're not trying to be negative. We're not trying to throw the guy on the bus. We're trying to win a damn World Series, and we want the guys out there that are actually performing in a way. Yeah. As much as we both love Andy Pajes, I don't want him in the lineup right now, and I don't mean that to be negative towards him. I love Andy. I'm probably going to get to see him sometime in Oklahoma City next year. I want to be able to give him a hug or a handshake or whatever it is. Tell him, love on him a little bit, and do all of that. But at this moment, hey, I love Andy Pajes, but I love the Dodgers more, and I love watching the Dodgers win the World Series the most, right? So you got to be loyal to the team and not the player, no matter how much you grow to love these guys, especially when they come through the system.
And I would say I think people that have listened to me, at least on this show, know that I love Andy Pajes. Here's what I think needs to happen. I think Edman needs to go to center. Rojas needs to go to second.
Yes.
That's what my Dodgers heart is saying, and it kills me to say that, but I admit it. I just don't see, and I know there's been Rick Monday has talked about it. The Pajes as his swings look better, but he's hitting 080 right now.
But there's no time for process, no time for better. Better is not good enough right now.
Yes.
If you lose tomorrow night, the series is over. I mean, probably. The better is not good enough. It has to be good right now, right?
Yeah. And as much as we've asked for Dave Roberts to be consistent, I think with a game 5, it might be a time to flip the script a little bit and throw some enthusiasm in there. And for me, I would love to see Rojas at second, Tommy Edman in center. That's where my heart says to go. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but I am saying it right now.
Yeah,
Pajes needs to sit down.
I agree. It's again, Coach. You love Andy Pajes. You saw him probably 300 of his at-bats in Oklahoma City. Yeah. Nobody loves Andy Pajes the person more than you do. Plus, you have a lot on the line because you've been talking about him for like 4 or 5 years about how great he is. So from an ego perspective, you want to be right about it too. That goes into it as well. But having said that, the team has to come first. I think that's where we're at this moment. And I'll tell you another thing, kind of a disappointing part of this. And the Dodgers, hey, all you got to do is figure out a way to win 2 games, and none of this matters. But we'll get into some of the things we think the Dodgers need to do moving forward. But the Dodgers right now, they look old, they look tired, they look lethargic, and they look boring. I mean, last night wasn't boring, but tonight was a very flat atmosphere. Nothing happened to get the crowd going, really. And so really, that kind of always takes me back to, I know he got injured, but that makes you kind of wish they would have given Ha-Seong Kim more run and more playing time and more of a real look, because a guy like that with dynamic skills that can run, and you don't have to actually find grass in the outfield to get a base hit. You can just slap a two hopper to the third baseman and beat it out and steal a base. And then just do something that in an atmosphere like tonight that's totally dead, shoot some energy into the crowd and your dugout to get things going. A Hae-Sung Kim type of guy is the guy that would do that. It's kind of disappointing the Dodgers didn't give him enough run for him to be a realistic factor in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I think back to like what would Lasorda do? And yeah. I wonder. I would love to know if Lasorda would stick with Pages, or if he would throw a Mickey Hatcher, Hae-Sung Kim type of.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Coach. Exactly. The Mickey Hatcher effect. 100%.
Yeah, and I hate to bring them up all the time, but the 88 Dodgers were my favorite team ever, like other than 81. And it's like I look at it and like Mickey Hatcher's like the perfect guy to throw in some weirdness. And it's like Hae-Sung Kim might have been the guy. I don't know if that's the answer, but something needed to change tonight. I just, as a coach, I was disappointed in the enthusiasm and the effort that we showed tonight. And again, were they tired? Yes, but so was Toronto. And Toronto had probably a bigger letdown than we would have ever had. Yeah. And Toronto came out and they just, I don't know. It's tonight was frustrating.
It was very frustrating.
Sit here and Casey, we could as coaches figure it all out.
We can find all the positives if we want, but it doesn't do any good. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just can't believe we came out flat tonight.
Yeah, me too. And here's the only thing I will say to that, because you would think that 18 innings, you're at home, you sleep in your own bed, this and that. The Dodgers had every advantage. But there was only one guy in the starting lineup tonight that wasn't a part of that 18-inning game last night. You know who it was?
No, talk to me.
The starting pitcher for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, good point.
That's a factor. I mean, Ohtani, I just got to think that there was some fatigue there for him, and there was zero fatigue with Shane Bieber. He was ready to go. And Shane Bieber, just like Max Scherzer, coach, he hasn't been great. He's been hurt this year, but he's not the same pitcher he always has been, but he's still Shane Bieber. He knows how to be great, and he knows how to rise to the occasion. So no surprise for me, if you've been watching Dodgers Dawgs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network, it should be no surprise to you that Max Scherzer and Shane Bieber rose to the occasion, although I think the Dodgers' shitty offense has played a big part in that.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm going to throw this vibe out there. So Dodger Dogs, here it goes. Dodgers are still winning this series.
Okay.
We're winning game 5. I don't know if we win game 6. Dodgers are still going to become world champions and break this curse of that there's not been back-to-back champions. Now, on the flip side, I got to
have a why, though, Coach. I got to have a why. I mean, I love the blind faith, but I got to have a why.
My heart says it.
Is that the bourbon speaking, Coach?
It's the bourbon. Yeah, I've had a lot of old fashions tonight with some good donors at the University of the Portland Pilots. But Casey, here's the thing. And I've been this way since I was a kid. Until the Dodgers final out, I will always believe in the Dodgers and bleed Dodger blue. And you know what? Sometimes it's a curse. I had somebody ask me tonight, would you be this into the Dodgers if they weren't very good? And I would be into the Dodgers if they won 0 games. I love the Dodgers. I have just this feeling of there's something that maybe this is just the trials they want us to go through, and we're going to celebrate. Unfortunately, we have to celebrate in Toronto now. But if the Dodgers can win game 5, I have this feeling. I said 6 games, might be 7. I just have this feeling at the end of this thing, the Dodgers are going to say, we battled, we went through adversity, and this is how it ended up happening. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else to say. I could be completely wrong, and we get blown out the next 2 games. But I just don't want to go into these games with faith of saying, I just don't know if the Dodgers are going to do it or not. I just can't do it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Casey, if it makes me look bad.
Certainly. Yeah.
And sometimes, I listen to you and Austin, and you guys give this phenomenal breakdown of the statistics and the reasoning behind the statistics. Sometimes I just want to look at this thing as a Dodger fan and say, I just believe in my dudes.
Yeah, right.
Tonight was a dud. I'm heartbroken. But you know what? we've got another game. We've got game 5. We're at home. We've got Blake Snell going. I'm with you on all the stuff you're talking about. I totally understand the adjustments, the lack of hitting, the lack of execution, the lack of the pitching. How did we come out? I totally get all that. I just have to be a fan in this situation. I think that's why I'm good for Dodgers Daily, because I give a fan perspective of a guy that just maybe has blind faith. And maybe my blind faith, it is what it is. I've always had blind faith in the Dodgers since I was 2 years old.
That's awesome.
So, Casey, my blind faith will say, I believe the Dodgers are winning tomorrow, and I believe the Dodgers are going to win this series because you know what? Something tells me Kershaw is going to go out on top. So there we go.
Oh, there's a nice hot take, Coach. And here's why. Let me double you down, and then let me remove myself from the blind faith and give some analysis as to why I agree with you that I think the Dodgers are going to win. And that is because I think Blake Snell is going to make some great adjustments. I think he is going to execute, and I think he's going to shove it straight up Toronto's ass tomorrow. That's what I think is going to happen. And he's going to get us right back on the beam, as Mark would say.
Yeah, listen,
Hey, and by the way, Toronto has not lost 3 games in a row to the same team since like June. So, I mean, the Dodgers were trying to beat Toronto for 3 games in a row. That's a very difficult thing to do against a team like this. So there's another part of it.
Listen, please, Toronto is a more challenging team. I didn't have any fear in the Yankees last year. The Yankees didn't work. The Yankees weren't that. Toronto was a very. Toronto just reminds me of this team. I know they have some star power, but they just have dudes that are good baseball players.
They're ball players.
And for me, isn't that the scariest baseball team to play? Just
hell yes, they
dudes?
are. You can't get into their head. You can't intimidate them. You can't. Hell yeah, that was Rhett Koba for me. Rhett Koba's in AAA now. He was like 6 foot, and I called Josh at OSU. I said, take this guy. He wanted. He's like, well, he's only like 86. I said, I don't care. Take him. It's the Michael Jordan deal, where they called Bobby Knight and the Portland Trailblazers, where when they called and they said, well, we need a center. And he said, I didn't play him at center. I don't know. Just take Michael Jordan, right? It's that deal. So, I mean, I called Josh and I said, Josh, take Rhett Koba. And he goes, well, he's only like 86 and this and that. I said, I don't care. Take Rhett Koba. And the reason why I made a specific out of my way to call Josh Holiday, the head coach at Oklahoma State, and tell him about Rhett Koba is because as the head coach at Guthrie, whenever I had to play Rhett Koba, he was the guy that as a coach, he was more competitive than I was. I mean, he exhausted you trying to beat him because he was so competitive. By the end of the time you competed against Rhett Koba, you were exhausted and usually you were beat. That's exactly what you're describing about the Blue Jays.
Yes, you described it best. For me, I look at it from a coaching perspective. Sometimes, especially with baseball, maybe not so much with the sport I coach with basketball, but when you have a bunch of dudes that are just bought in, that's with any sport. But this Blue Jays team just there's something about them. I talk about this. I play a lot of Stratomatic baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize a lot of these dudes. I know obviously who they are because we all follow baseball, but they don't just pop out at you like Ernie Clement. Who are these dudes? But you know what? They have great at bats.
Mm-hmm.
They make the right play. Austin talked about it. They're one of the best fielding teams in baseball.
Yes.
They make the right plays. They don't wow you, but baseball to me, you don't have to wow. People want to talk about the Dodgers payroll. I think with baseball, it's the one sport the payroll doesn't matter to me. If you
It doesn't have to.
So exactly, Casey. So Toronto's that team. So I live in the part of the country where there's a ton of Seattle Mariners fans. I said this to these guys, man, I want to play Seattle. Seattle just wasn't Toronto to me.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I would much rather have seen Seattle. It's just how my gut was. Toronto is a scary baseball team. They're bought in. They love their manager. They're bought into the fielding. They hit the proper way. They move runners over. They put the ball in play. And you know what? They don't give a flying rip about the Dodgers payroll like Milwaukee did and all these other people. They don't give a flying rip. And that's what scares me about Toronto. But again, Dodgers are winning tomorrow, and then it's a toss-up after that. And
So
Dodgers are going to win the World Series.
This is the under 2 minute timeout. You know, you're down to your last 3 or 4 possessions in a basketball game, and you've got to. You've run every play, every set play. You've run all your motions. Both teams know exactly what the other team's going to do. Right? You've been in that situation a million times. You're drawing up a play, and you go, you know what? Screw that. And you throw down your clipboard, and you go, guys, listen to me, okay? Well, one thing I love about you guys is that it seems like this team is at its best when its back is up against the wall the most, and when the shit's hitting the fan, and when people start doubting you and people start leaving comments like this team is cooked or this team is terrible or this team is done or they're lethargic, they're old, they're tired. That's when you guys actually respond the best, okay? I love you guys. I'm in the foxhole with you. Let's go do this again. You guys are at your best in moments like these when everybody's doubting you. Now get back on the court and go do it. That's my speech to the Dodgers fans right now. That's my speech to myself. Am I being just too much of a cheerleader here?
No, Case, that's why I consider you one of my dudes, like one of my close friends, man. I love talking baseball with you because you just took the words right out of my mouth. I envision, like, I look at the Dodgers post game, the next couple games, and the Dodgers are like, we knew what we had to do. We didn't play well in this game. We bounced back. We knew that we were against the wall. Like, that's why I say the Dodgers are going to win this World Series. Now, when it's all said and done, people might say, man, this Coach Barrakoff on Dodgers Daily was losing his mind. And all right, let's get ready for the next. I just don't see the Dodgers. Backing down from this or saying, oh my gosh, we came out flat tonight, game 5. I don't see that happening from this team. I've listened to enough. I always talk about this. I really listen to what the Dodgers post game and what the players say and how the coach speak and the players speak. I just envision the Dodgers saying, man, we really let down the Dodger fans. We didn't mean that to happen. We want to win this thing. I just see the Dodgers taking care of business. Like, there's
at least not going out with this whimper, right? I mean,
yeah, like the case.
Guys, we ain't going out like this. We might go out because Toronto's a great team, but we ain't going out like this, boys. Come on.
Yeah, there's like this little part of me that says, like, we really knew this was going to be tough. Like, there's a reason there hasn't been a back-to-back champion in baseball in 20 plus years.
Here's another thing, Coach. This is a great point that we're making. Well, History Man's making a great point. Here's another thing, and I tell Blake Snell, I tell our team, you guys find a way to win tomorrow because I guarantee you those sons of bitches ain't scoring a run on Yamamoto. So if we win tomorrow, boys, we're putting on a ring because Yamamoto ain't giving up shit, right? So let's find a way to win tomorrow. Let's turn this thing over to Yamamoto. Let's get her done.
Yes. Okay. You said it best. Like, I just have belief in this team.
Yeah.
I look at this lineup and say, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Teo, Will Smith, they're eventually, right? We've been saying this for how many months? 162 games. They're eventually going to hit. I still call it blind faith. I'm blind faith, Case. I eventually think they're going to figure this thing out and hit. Is it blind faith? I love that you're laughing because you're probably thinking, Barrakoff's had some bourbon tonight.
You're convicted. You're convicted. What's funny is if they hit these next 2 games of the next 3 games, all of the whole season worth of saying that will all be worth it at that moment, will it not?
but I'm okay, man, enough to say that I was wrong. Like, listen, they're my team, Case. They're your team. You speak baseball truth. I speak baseball love. I don't know what else to say, right? I just cannot. I'll go to the end of this series and say I still believed in this team regardless of the outcome. And I just love this team so much. I just think the potential has got to finally kick in. And it hasn't. It really hasn't. And I'm the first one to say it. It's been people ask me, like,
they haven't clicked on all cylinders at any time all year.
Not at all.
Like offense and pitching and defense and bullpen all at the same time are like A level, the best they can be. We have not seen that version all year.
Why?
Or maybe we have, and we've just overrated what this roster is.
It's a tough year.
Or maybe we're wins away from winning a world championship, and we're all making way too big of a deal out of one game. Maybe that's the case too.
Maybe that's why I'm not taking too big out of this game. I just look at the Blue Jays lineup, and I look at our lineup, and as much as I am in positivity about the Blue Jays, I look at our lineup and say the Dodgers are going to win this thing. It's a 3-game series now, right? 5, 6, and 7. Again, Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow. If you told me we got a 3-game series and we have those 3 guys going, I feel really confident.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you know what? If it backfires on what I'm saying, it backfires on what I'm saying. And then you know what? We'll start talking about spring training. And you know the thing about Coach Barikoff, I will be just excited about the next season as I am right now. That's just the fan that I am, and people can say whatever they want. But, Case, I just have a feeling, let's get through Game 5. If we win Game 5, I think now, I'm going to say also, I would not be surprised if Toronto comes out and plays their you-know-what's off and takes Game 5. I could see that happening. I could see that happening. And people that know me, and listen, we've been on this a lot. I still see the Dodgers winning. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. But that's why you have me on the show.
I'm at a 50-50 right now. I have no idea what's getting ready to happen. We're experienced enough, Coach, to where you know in the chat, we typically know exactly how every game's going to go by about the 3rd inning, right? We know how a series is going to go, that kind of thing. Just because we've been around it, we can read vibes in terms of the way the teams are reacting to things and the mannerisms, just the way things are going. I can tell you right now, this is one of those points to where I literally have no clue what's getting ready to happen in the next 3 games. And I'll say this, Coach, I think regardless, even if the Dodgers do figure out a way to squeak out 2 wins and win back-to-back world championships, which is monumentally unbelievable. First time to do it since 1999, 2000. The Yankees did it back then, which was monumental back then. Monumental accomplishments, even if you don't win this World Series this year. This has been an absolutely awesome year. Regardless of how this goes, I will say this, that at the very least in the offseason, the Dodgers need to go get Kyle Tucker and they need to go get a Johan Duran back-end bullpen piece. I know they have a lot of pitchers coming back. They need a proven outfield bat because you got to fix this offense, Coach. And then you have to fix the bullpen with something that's proven. So at the very least, I'm going to go there right now. I don't care what happens the remainder of this year. You need an outfield bat that's actually proven and legit. You need a back-end bullpen guy that's proven and legit. I'm going to go there right now. I'm probably jumping ahead of myself, but that's the frustration I'm feeling right now. And the frustration comes from you wanted the Dodgers to do that at the trade deadline, and they didn't, and I keep saying it, and I'm an asshole for continuing to harp on it, but that continues to come back and make this Dodgers team much less perfect than it could have been if you would have went and given away some prospects that likely will never even make the major leagues anyways with your club because you're so loaded in talent.
Yeah, that's why I'm that angel on your right shoulder, right? I just think Dodgers did what they needed to do. And Case, I'm going to say this quietly so no one hears this. You're correct. You're correct.
Other than the millions on the internet, Dodge.
You're correct. I think the Dodgers are what they are. We're spoiled as Dodger fans that we're in our 2nd World Series. We've been in a ton. 2018. The Astros cheated and beat us. We won the COVID year, still a world championship. We won it last year. We're in another World Series. We expect to have those Dodger parades. You're right, though. There were some misses in the moves, and I think we're paying for it. But this positive guy on your right shoulder tells me that the team is what they are. Mm-hmm. We're winning tomorrow night. And we're going to win either Game 6 or Game 7, or we're going to win a world championship. So,
kind of where my last point on that, and we'll get on. Then we're going to get out of here because we're old, right? We both have to work tomorrow. But my point is, hey, you never know when you're going to make it back to the World Series. I don't care how great your roster is. It is so hard to get into the position the Blue Jays and the Dodgers are in, even if you have the best players like the Dodgers do. You have to have a lot of good fortune. But think of all the things that have gone the Dodgers' way and some of the situations that could have went the other way that would have left the Dodgers in a different type of situation. So it's very hard to get where you're at the doorstep of winning something. I just can't get past that. You get to the doorstep and you don't walk through the door because of a player that's in high A or single A, a guy that you have no idea if they're ever even going to make the major leagues. And if they do, Diego Cartaya flamed out at Double A. Brandon Lewis flamed out at Double. I mean, you don't even know if these guys, A, are even going to make the major leagues. And then B, if they do, the odds would tell you, Andy Paez is the only position player right now out of all of these prospects that were so good going back to 2019 in Ogden, whenever Ogden led, and then in 2021, Great Lakes led the world in hitting. You had like 15 guys like Carson Taylor that were awesome hitters, Brandon Lewis. You had Eddie's Leonard, you had Yorbit Vivas, you had Johnny DeLuca, you had all of these guys that were James Outman. Out of all of those guys that were setting world records and for like 3 or 4 years in the minor leagues hitting, one freaking guy out of that whole group has made the major leagues with the Dodgers, and we're talking about needing to replace him. So I just can't get on board with not winning a World Series, possibly because of some guy that's in high A, as good of a prospect as he might be, because you don't have any clue what he's ever going to be. And I do know that we are right here ready to win a world championship. And if we had a Stephen Kwan or Johan Duran, we'd be a hell of a lot closer to walking through that door. That's, again, I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's just why I can't help but keep saying that.
And I'm going to counter your tangent and say maybe that no one wanted to trade to our Dodgers because we're so dominant. I'm just going to get a case because, one, I agree with you. I agree with you. I am not going against you on whatever you're saying. I respect everything you say. I believe in your baseball knowledge. I think you're the most knowledgeable baseball guy in terms of the Dodgers social media community. But my only flip side to that as a I don't even know how to word this, but I have this feeling that people just didn't want to give the Dodgers what we wanted to get from people.
Yeah. Right.
So there's that feeling to me. And you're right. We are very lucky as Dodger fans. We're in another World Series. We get to talk during the World Series about all of our problems, and we're still – the series is tied.
Yeah.
We got to a 3-game set, but yet we are Dodger fans, and we expect excellence. And what you're saying is what all Dodger fans want. It's why the Dodger fan social media is craziness right now.
Yeah.
And they can't stand our manager, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, who has some of the best managerial credentials in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
But yet we want to bash on our manager.
Yeah.
But you're right. As Dodger fans, we expect excellence. With the team that we have on the field and the money that's being paid out, we should be thinking world championship. And right now, 2-2 on paper and in our minds is not acceptable. But baseball is a funny sport. It's different to me than football and basketball. Baseball is a completely different sport. And sometimes it doesn't pan out where the most talented teams. I just that's how I feel about baseball.
Yeah.
I've always felt, again, let me go back to the 1988 Dodgers. There is no way in the world you could ever have predicted they would have beat the A's in that World Series.
They had an ass kicker though, man. They Kirk Gibson took that team by the belt strap and said, "Boys, we're going to be tougher than hell, and you're going to follow me with that." That's
Casey, you're
the
right.
Dodgers
You're
need
right,
that.
but
Yeah.
he didn't. He played. He had one at bat in that series.
That's true.
But you're right. You're right. Again, Casey, I would never argue with you. You're the one dude that I would never want to go and argue about baseball, and I respect you. But you're right in a lot of the things you're saying. It's frustrating. But Dodger fans, again, let me say this: with all of the phenomenal stuff Casey's saying, we still are in a 3-game series with Snell, Yamamoto, and Glasnow. And if the boys break out and hit, we're winning a world championship.
Yeah, I agree. I've been way more pessimistic, negative, down, disappointed, really, than I can remember. I've been pissed off more in the past, but not like usually if I'm negative, it's like the first it's the first part of the monologue, and by the time we end up talking about halfway through, let's freaking go. I never could. I can't shake out of it tonight. I haven't been able to shake out of it. I've been consistently negative through this whole entire thing, kind of a doomsday. I've allowed the chat to be a little bit more negative. I've done that on purpose just because I feel like in these nights, we need to get all this venom, the negativity, all of that out. And so by the time we wake up in the morning, I'm ready to go. Let's get that. So I've kind of allowed myself to be that way, to get it out. I've allowed the chat to be that way. I think that's okay. And especially because you bring a whole lot of positivity, which is great for all of us. And so last question here before we get out of here. I feel you with the entire chat. We're all kind of saying the same thing. We're pissed off. We're upset. We're negative. We're frustrated. So we don't like so-and-so. We don't like this. We're all kind of saying the same thing in different ways in the chat with me too. It's the same tone. So we'll just say that about the chat tonight. Awesome chat, as it always is. Best in baseball, no doubt about it. Thank you so much, you Dodgers dogs. So let's finish with this, okay? Blind faith, that's great, but who is the better team? You've had 4 games now to evaluate. Who is the better team?
Well, and here's the dangerous thing about bringing Coach Mark Barrakoff on to Dodgers Daily. It's a dangerous deal because I am consistent.
Yes.
The Dodgers are the better team. The Dodgers have the better players. The Dodgers have the better everything for me. I don't care what the analysts say. I don't care what Dodgers Daily group chat says.
Yes.
Coach Barrakoff thinks the Dodgers are the better team. In blind faith, craziness faith, you know what you're going to get with me. I'm not going to ever change. And I know sometimes, Casey, you bring me on and then you text me and say, I love that you brought the faith. Dodgers are going to win this World Series. And if they don't, hey, I'll be ready for spring training, and can't wait for game 1 of spring training. But here's my take. The Dodgers have the better team. I love that we have Snell, Yamamoto, and Glasnow. If you told me we got 3-game series with those 3 guys going, I'd feel really good about myself. I have faith in this Dodger team. I bleed Dodger blue. I'll never stop. Let's go Dodgers.
Let's celebrate here in a couple nights, right? What would that be? Saturday? Let's see. Tonight's the Wednesday, so that we could possibly be celebrating by Friday night, right? Friday night in the big town. Let's make it a date.
Which would be great because University of Portland opens up on Monday, so that would be ideal for me. I would have a good time to celebrate and get through it for a Monday game, so I'm ready for that.
If the Dodgers don't win, is it a failure? Is it just disappointing, or is it a great season? Well, how do you view that?
That's funny because what my answer is going to be a different answer than I think you're ready for. I think it's going to be a failure.
Oh, wow. In your mind?
When you spend that amount of money,
wow,
and when you have the amount of Hall of Famers, I think it's a failure.
Dude, you're putting it on like, boys, we got to do this. I like it. So you're giving them the positive faith and then saying, hey, no other choice. It's either you win or it's a failure. Wow. Big time stuff, Coach. That's powerful, dude.
That's just how I feel. I mean, like, if you're going to spend the money and you have what you have, you're expected to win. And I would,
nice.
I was going for, listen, I liken this back to, I would say the same thing. I was going for a 4th straight national championship, and I had a better team than I thought I had in the previous years, and we got beat in a quarterfinal. That was a failure as a coach, Coach Barrakoff. I failed. I think it would be a failure if the Dodgers don't win. Would it be disappointing? Yeah.
Love it.
But with what the Dodgers have, Case, that would be a failure in my mind, and that's crazy to say, right? Because I am very positive.
And you can say that because you don't think it's going to happen, right?
Dodgers are going to win the World Series.
Oh, fantastic, Coach. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. What an awesome chat, man. Coach, great job once again, as you always do. You came through, delivered the goods. Great job. And, hey, we'll get after it again tomorrow. I'm going to go over on record and say right now as we speak through 4 games, I typically speaking am very good at reading the room and figuring out what's getting ready to happen. Just go back and watch some of the experience part of it. You just kind of by osmosis, you figure those things out. I'm just going to go on record right now and say I have absolutely no clue whatsoever is getting ready to happen the next 3 games. The Dodgers, I could see the Dodgers not hitting and getting their asses kicked and losing the next 2. I could see them hitting and winning the next 2. I could see them not hitting and still winning the next 2 through pitching. I'm just going to say I have no clue what's getting ready to happen. And because of that, I am worried as hell. Hey, it's a great day to be a Dodger.
Go Dodgers.